Hi everyone, welcome back to JP WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well and having a good week and a good start to the end of your week as well, for that matter. The week hump is over. We are heading towards the weekend. This is the preview of West Ham's 19th and last home game of the 24-25 Premier League season, where we welcome European hopefuls Nottingham Forest to the London Stadium for a 2:15 kickoff this Sunday afternoon, live on Sky Sports. As always, guys, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear. And as you can see from the icon that's up here, there's also some retro track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts in the claret and blue made by Admiral and Umbro, so go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area, and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter, as they're currently supporting close to, if not over 90 separate food banks by the time of this recording. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop, and you're helping those that are less fortunate than you and I. But if you don't want to make a donation, if you want to make a donation to the charity but you don't want to make an affiliate links purchase, that's perfectly fine. There is their Just Give and Fund link in the description below as well. So £1, £2, £5, whatever you can afford, guys. Believe me, every penny helps. So as always, there's going to be timestamps in the description below. So by all means, please do jump around to whatever section you'd like to listen to, and of course, comment at any point. I'd like you to stay around for as long as possible, because there's quite a few bits of information to discuss. But by all means, please do like, share and subscribe, and thank you to everybody who's been absolutely crazy the last week or so in terms of subscribers. At the time of this recording, we are now 53 sort of 56, something like that, 50 something away from 3,000 subscribers. I never thought in a million years we'd get that anywhere near to that target by the end of the season, guys, but thank you to everybody that's subscribed, and I hope you're enjoying the content as well. Now, before we talk about the officials, the reason why this game is happening on a Sunday is because the FA Cup final is on Saturday. Now, why the fuck couldn't they have done it last week to mark the 45th anniversary of when we won the FA Cup against Arsenal in 1980? That's how dumb and stupid the FA are when it comes to decisions like that. Obviously, it's conversations with the Premier League as well. But yeah, honestly, why not just have it 1 week earlier? We could have had this game on a Saturday instead. But they don't think about that and the anniversaries and all that, because that's when the FA Cup used to be back in the old days of the League One. You know, that used to be the second Saturday of May, always. But anyway, so guys, let's continue on by talking about the officials. The referee for this game is Sam Barrett. His assistants are Wade Smith and Aguerd Howson. Now, Aguerd Howson was part of the lineup, if I remember correctly, for the Spurs game. I think it was relatively, he was in one of them, and yeah, it wasn't the best of decisions for everybody in that game. So just not that I'm making anybody out, but that's why I recognise his name again. And the fourth official is Matt Donoghue. On VAR is Darren England, and his assistant is Mark Scholes. So of the last 2 home games we played against Forest, because normally we would talk about our last 6 in the Premier League, but this is the 3rd season that Forest have been in the Premier League now. So yeah, and out of those 2 games, we have won twice, scoring 7 and conceding just 2 goals. Graham Potter has faced Forest at home only once, but that was with Swansea, and that was in the Championship, so there's not really much to talk about apart from the fact that was a draw. Now, I'll take a draw all day long, to be honest with you, the way that Forest have had a bit of a dip recently in form and results and stuff, but which we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I'll take a point all day long. I really would. You know, to have 3 games unbeaten, it would be nice going into the end of the season. It really would be, especially bearing in mind we've got relegation oppositions. Ipswich are the last away game of the season. Okay, so as we remember the 3-0 loss away to City, at the City ground, 1-0 down at half time from Chris Wood at the 27th minute. A player we need to keep an eye out for. And second half goals from Hudson-Odoi on the 65th and Anina on the 78th. And from what I can remember of that watch along, it wasn't the best of games. You know, there was a lot of Aggie stuff going on, but When is it not, to be honest with you, this season? Now, Forest are, at the time of this recording, 7th in the Premier League table after 36 wins. Sorry, 36 games, I should say. 18 wins, 8 draws and 10 losses, scoring 56 and conceding 44. So on a plus goal difference of 12, 62 points, 3 points away from Champions League spots. And they rock up to West Ham. So all I'm saying. Now, the footystats.com away table shows Forest third with 9 wins, 3 draws and 6 losses, scoring 30 and conceding 29. So a +1 goal difference on the road. And of their last 5 away games, they've won 2, drawn 1 and lost 2. So quite a mixed bag from Forest perspective, and an average points away per game of 1.67. Now, as we know, Marinakis, I think you pronounced that, confronted Nuno after the 2-2 draw with Leicester at the weekend. Now, a lot of people were speculating that it was more down to the fact of losing the advantage, drawing with a relegated side. I actually genuinely think, when you look at the information and a few other people's conversations as well about it, I do genuinely think that the problem was down to the fact that they were playing with 10 men for the last 10 minutes of the game. And I think that's why they only got really, really angry, because of bad decisions in terms of substitutions, because obviously the player was deemed fit, and so a different substitution was made, and then within a minute of that substitution he went off injured, and they'd used all their 5 subs by that point. That's what I understand of it. I mean, if I'm wrong, by all means, let us know in the comment section. To please do correct me. But yeah, it'd be interesting. So yeah, it's but at the same point, I agree with what everybody else has been saying about it in terms of it should have happened behind closed doors. It's, and by the sounds of it, Nuno de Espirito Santos didn't make any reference to it in the post-match conference, other than asking me questions. He was perfectly civil about it. So I'm sure there were words that were had, but anyway, I'm not going to speculate on that. Now, Forest are no longer very strong at creating scoring chances as they were at the start of the season, but they are still strong at it, and they are weak at keeping possession and defending against skillful players, and are very weak at avoiding the offside trap. Everything else in terms of their strengths is exactly the same as it was for the preview of the away fixture, so I'm not going to mention that again. On the road, their highest goal scorer is Chris Wood, surprise, surprise, with 9 goals and 2 assists, as he is as their highest home goal scorer as well this season. And their highest assister is Alanga with 4 assists and 3 goals. Now, their highest away aerial duel winner, as it is with the record at home, is Milenkovic, with 3 duels on the road, 1 per game on average, with Chris Wood quite close behind him on 2.7 average aerial duels 1 per game. Now, turning to Forest injuries, Hudson-Odoi is out until the end of the season with a thigh injury. Costa is out with a thigh injury as well. And Awoniyi is out long term with it was confirmed today by at the time of this recording, but yesterday morning, that he was put into a medically induced coma after abdominal surgery. Now, it looks like Costa may be back for this fixture, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And Moreira is being assessed for an ankle injury. Now, the interesting thing about Awoniyi, or however you pronounce it, the interesting thing about his surgery was it was announced that it all gone well, yet he was put into a medically induced coma. That implies that it isn't all as well as everybody is saying. But we don't know. Again, we're only speculating. We'll probably never find out for a good few years about that yet. But football rivalries aside for a second, I do wish his family, and him of course, all the best for the future. I hope that he comes out of this surgery, because he clattered the post whilst defending a Leicester attack at the weekend. This is one of the prime reasons why players, the pitch side officials should be flagging straight away if a player is offside, not waiting to see what happens, because if they'd have flagged straight away, he wouldn't have had that injury. It's as simple as that. It's logic. I'm hoping the FA and the Premier League and the EFL all sit down together and say, look, because of this, can we go back to what was going on originally, where we'd flag straight away, regardless of the semi-automated offside thing? These guys are still being paid to do their job, so they should be flagging it straight away, not wait, because at the end, like I said, it's cause and effect. Flag straight away. He's not advancing on the near post. I think was it the near post? Yeah, I think it was the near post, and he's not wrapping himself around it like a double helix, and therefore he's not having that abdominal injury, and therefore he's not having the surgery, and therefore he's eligible for this weekend. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, but it's one isolated incident, but I'm sure there's loads of others. Now, turning to West Ham, one thing that I'm absolutely loving about the Man U away victory on Sunday, and apologies about the watch along, it didn't go to plan. I mean, nothing ever really does on this channel, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was a really bad reception from the streamer, and I got it sorted out. But watching the extended highlights back, you can actually notice that the man that's leaving in a couple of weeks, Vladimir Coufal, started that move for Souček's goal. 30 passes. You know, we didn't really notice it at the time, but especially if you watch the points, you know, the camera point of view on the club's website, the behind the scenes stuff. It's not really behind the scenes, it's just like pitch side cameras all the time. But you do in the normal highlights, you can see Coufal trying to run down the flank, doesn't, and then he passes it back to the defense, and then it all gets passed through up to Souček for that Rabona-esque goal. You know, it's brilliant. It really, really is good. I don't think a lot of people realise that now. You know, as I say, because we were all in the moment. One of the things I absolutely loved about hearing the songs being sung at the Man United away game was our away fans singing to the Man U supporters, stroke players, "If you beat Spurs, you're not all cunts." I absolutely love that. That's brilliant. That's exactly what away crowd is all about. It really, really is, that banter. And I'm sure the Man United fans found it quite funny as well, for that matter. I mean, the great thing is we've got 4 points from potential 6. You know, we could eventually end up with a slightly better end to the season than we thought beforehand. But, you know, things are slowly coming together. But at the end of the day, things were slowly starting to come together against under Lopetegui as well, for that matter. So, yeah, you can't have it always, unfortunately. And when do we ever it our way, to be honest with you, as West Ham fans? Now, in terms of the summer transfer window, you know, as we talked about earlier in the season, Zoom is going to be leaving on a free. Couldn't really cut it in the Saudi league by the sounds of things. You know, we talked about Ings and Coufal just now, and Fabianski, you know, and Creswell leaving on a free. And apparently Aguerd wants to move on a permanent basis at the end of this season as well. He's loving life where he is. You know, and apparently he's stocked quite high. So take it. Yeah, it'd be a shame to see him go, but we kind of can see, to a lesser extent, we can survive without Aguerd. You know, we've been able to do it all season. Just it'd be nice for him to be alongside Kilman. You know, because Tabido, as much as I love him, or Todibo, as much as I love him, he can't last a full 90 minutes. So we're back into the same cycle we were 2 or 3 seasons ago. That's the problem. But yeah, so if anything pops up on that, I'll let you guys know. And of course, as we all know, Boylesports are going to be the shirt sponsor for next season, but only for 1 season. The front of shirt ban comes in for betting agencies from the 26-27 season. Yeah, it's okay for it to be on the sleeve for that season. It makes no sense. It's really ridiculous. Yes, okay, the advertising space is smaller, but it's on every bloody shirt. It's going to be on every bloody shirt. It's ridiculous. And apparently, from what I understand, apparently next season's kit launch is like photographs and video and all that stuff have been done at the end of this week, beginning of next, or well into the beginning of next, I should say. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, and of course, interesting to see what happens in terms of the kit manufacturer as well, because that's coming up in the season or so as well. So let's keep an eye out for that. But guys, this comes around quite nicely, relatively, and apologies for waffling on, but I did say that there's going to be a few things to talk about. This brings us round to the starting 11. Now, I've always put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you would like to see as a starting 11. Not trying to predict what Graham Potter's going to do, what you would like to see as a West Ham supporter. And this is the starting 11 that I would like to see against Forest on Sunday. Areola in goal, with a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman and Skulls. Orford in the defensive midfield positions with Souček in front of him, supporting Bowen, Ward-Prowse and Guilherme with Fulkrug up front. Thank you to everybody that's made it this far. I really do appreciate your time. And of course, as you know, guys, for those who've been watching these videos week in, week out, there's no point watching the video because I know it's exactly the same starting 11 as previous as well. I don't think it's right that Skulls is being dropped. I really don't. He hasn't done anything wrong in my eyes. I mentioned that before. You know, Wan-Bissaka was absolutely outstanding and quite rightly so against Man United. Got man of the match. You know, so, but yeah, anyway, guys, thank you to everybody that's been watching. It's really appreciated. As I say, I'm not going to do the animation about the viewing figures because it's pretty much close to 2/3 of you guys that are watching these videos are actually subscribed. So we're getting there. We're getting there, but it's not perfect. But guys, enjoy the rest of your week. As I say, I'll do the post-match. The full-time thoughts, I should say, for the Forest game. That'll be going up on Sunday as well, for that matter. But yeah, guys, in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to see you very, very soon. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. All the best now. Take care.